What happens when a 25% car tariff slams into the world's largest auto market overnight?
A 25% tariff on foreign auto parts that came into effect.
The 25% taxes on auto imports.
25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States.
It results in job cuts, factory shutdowns, skyrocketing prices, and total chaos. The U.S. car industry is left in a struggling position, and Trump didn't see this coming. Nissan slashing 20,000 jobs.
Nissan is looking to cut 20,000 jobs, which is about 15% of their global workforce.
Stellantis is pulling the plug on EVs. Honda is retreating to hybrids. Consumers caught in a frenzy, rushing to buy before prices explode. And while the U.S. stalls, China's BYD is speeding ahead, selling far more cars than Tesla. Is the U.S. car industry going towards a total collapse while other countries gain dominance? Hit the like and subscribe button for updates, and let's find out. When President Donald Trump placed a 25% tax on imported cars and their parts,
Tariffs announced as part of the administration's Liberation Day are in addition to the 25% taxes on auto imports.
it severely impacted the worldwide car industry. This was more than just a political move. It directly hurt car manufacturers' profits. For car makers who rely on parts from all over the world, these tariffs make their financial situation much harder to manage. Take General Motors. They're looking at up to $5 billion in new annual costs, with $2 billion tied to vehicles built in South Korea and shipped to the U.S. Ford, Nissan, and Stellantis face similar hits. Even as Trump rolled out temporary exemptions for NAFTA partners, the damage was already done.
By the White House after a roller coaster week on Wall Street. President Trump putting a pause on many of his 25% tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico. Still, the Dow dropping more than 400 points.
The U.S. imports nearly half of its vehicles. The average American automaker now pays around $4,900 in extra cost per U.S.-built vehicle and $8,600 per imported car. That's a $41.7 billion tax bomb for the big three alone. And don't forget the suppliers. Japanese companies like Kyowa Industrial, family-owned and rooted in tradition, are being squeezed to the bone. Some are pivoting to medical tech just to survive. Japan could lose $17 billion in car exports to the US, and their once bulletproof automotive sector is suddenly on shaky ground. Next, let's talk about the automakers getting crushed by this economic hailstorm. Nissan is in deep trouble. After collapsing merger talks with Honda and Mitsubishi, they've announced 20,000 job cuts and the closure of 7 factories.
Nissan is looking to cut 20,000 jobs, which is about 15% of their global workforce.
A $4.5 billion loss for the fiscal year.
It's bracing for about $4 to $5 billion in losses.
Downgraded credit ratings, and a restructuring plan they hope will save $1.7 billion. This is a fight for survival, not just a slowdown. Nissan has been particularly vulnerable due to its more price-sensitive customer base, making it harder to pass on tariff-related costs. Stellantis isn't faring much better. The company delayed production of the Dodge Charger Daytona RT, halted retooling in Canada, and laid off 900 workers across 5 U.S. plants. They've even paused operations in Mexico and Canada as they try to weather the tariff storm. Honda, meanwhile, is pulling back hard on EVs, favoring hybrids instead. It slashed its electrification investment target by 30%, dropping plans for a $10.7 billion EV plant in Ontario. Honda has lowered its goal for EV sales, now expecting them to be only 20% by 2030, down from 30%. They are not the only ones. Other companies like Jaguar Land Rover and Nissan are also scaling back their electric vehicle plans. This is not just about company profits. This change is seriously affecting the entire electric vehicle industry. We will explore this further next. The electric vehicle surge in the US is losing steam. The combination of rising costs, slashed incentives, and a hostile policy shift under Trump is shaking up the momentum. The 145% tariff on Chinese-made EV components, especially lithium-ion batteries, has jacked up input costs across the board. Tesla, which relies on international parts for up to 25% of its components, has taken a massive hit. Their stock is down nearly 50% from its peak. Battery plant delays are piling up. LG pulled back on its Arizona facility, Hyundai's Georgia plant was paused, and the federal EV tax credit is on the chopping block. While Biden's targets aimed for full electrification by 2030, Trump has rolled those back. easing fuel economy standards and reducing pressure on automakers to invest in costly EV tech. This has caused companies like Ford and GM to reduce their electric vehicle plans and instead focus on hybrid and gas cars. The market for EVs is quickly losing steam, and it's not just car manufacturers making changes, consumers are too. But while the US is hitting the brakes, one country is flooring it. Let's talk about the rise of China's EV giants. BYD isn't just rising, it's dominating. In January 2025 alone, it sold over 300,000 new energy vehicles in China, nearly 5 times more than Tesla's 63,000. That gave BYD a commanding 26.9% market share compared to Tesla's 4.5%. And they're not just winning at home. In Singapore, BYD became the top-selling brand in 2024, overtaking Toyota and Tesla. They grabbed 14.39% of the market by offering affordable EVs packed with tech features at no extra cost. In the UK, their sales exploded by 658% in 1 year, expanding from 14 to 60 retail locations. What's BYD's secret? A mix of strategy and speed. They've got a diverse lineup, from budget hatchbacks to luxury SUVs, and they're setting up manufacturing in key markets to sidestep tariffs and stay price competitive. While Tesla has focused on high-end models and optional premium features, BYD is flooding the market with well-equipped, affordable cars that get the job done. With international expansion booming and global production sites coming online, BYD is becoming the poster child of the next-gen car industry. But if Chinese automakers are winning, what does that mean for the people buying cars? That's where things get a little bit confusing. Tariffs have become a ticking time bomb for consumers. The Anderson Economic Group estimates U.S. buyers will pay more than $30 billion in higher prices and lost sales over the next year. Sticker prices are already creeping up. GM said it now expects car prices to rise 1% instead of falling. What's happening on the ground? People in Ohio rushed to buy a Honda CR-V before the tariffs hit. The dealership was packed. Cox Automotive reported the hottest March sales in 4 years, purely driven by panic. But not everyone's making big moves. Others are holding off, opting to repair old vehicles instead of buying new ones in such an unpredictable market. This quick change has split car buyers into 2 groups. Some are buying cars quickly, while others are holding back completely. High interest rates make car loans more expensive, and new taxes are raising the cost of car parts, insurance, and even maintenance. So, the car market is under immense pressure. Buyers face difficulties from every direction due to rising prices, concerns about their jobs, and an uncertain future. And that leads to the big question: what's next for the industry? The auto industry isn't collapsing, it's transforming. But that transformation is messy. Fragmented regulations, shifting trade policies, and patchy incentives have made manufacturing and supply chains a gamble. Car makers are pulling back on EV goals, consolidating operations, and racing to localize production wherever they can. We're watching a global reshuffle. For consumers, that means volatility. Expect more price changes, fewer. And with prices climbing, will cars even be affordable for you soon? Incentives and tougher financing. If you're looking to buy, timing is everything. Today's deal might vanish tomorrow with a single tweet from the White House or a new tariff policy. And for American jobs, the hope is that reshoring production brings employment. But that's no guarantee. Layoffs are already stacking up. Factories are pausing. Plans are shifting. The only sure thing, the next few months are crucial in this car industry battle and could completely change everything again. So in today's video, we just highlighted how US tariffs have caused a major cost crisis for the global car industry. Car companies like Nissan and Stellantis are cutting jobs and reducing investments. Electric vehicle growth in America is slowing down, while China's BYD is now a leader. Car buyers are either rushing to purchase or waiting due to fear. The auto world is dividing. Some will succeed, others will not. But can American car makers recover, or will they fall behind permanently? Also, with rising prices, will cars ever be affordable for every person who's working to get one? Comments below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next video.